Hi Vallecito Parents, I'm Kelly Starrett here with Georgia and Caroline Starrett. And first of all, we want to thank you for volunteering to help us adjust the desk. What we want to do is make a quick tutorial on the basics of and the most efficient way to raise and lower these desks so they fit each student perfectly, all right? So a couple things. One, that there's 4 individual hex screws, and they're at the top of the base of support. So you can see that the desk basically drops in at these 4 places on down. Not any other screws, but just at each 4 corners at the top of the base of support is a small hex key. So what ends up happening now, and here's the crucial part, is Caroline, will you stand up and be our demo? Caroline stands up and walks all the way and touches the desk with her legs, and then stand all the way tall. And if she flips her hands, just holds her hands by her side, what we're looking for is that the desk is slightly higher than her elbow if she was at 90 degrees. So with her arm by her side, elbow flat, we would want the desk slightly higher. So something like that. Now I've got George as my helper, and obviously this works a little bit more efficiently with 2 people and a couple sets of hex keys. We've just got one to show you that can be done with just a single. So what's happened is I've already pre-loosened the hex keys, or the hex screws, and then what's going to happen is that George and I are going to lift this up and then just kind of block it. So go ahead and walk again to the desk, Caroline. Now some of the students have already had desks and they remember what felt like a good position. And Caroline, go ahead and put your foot up on the bar for us, okay? Now, one of the questions we asked, you can see that that's a little bit too low still, if Caroline is at 90 degrees with her elbow. So we're going to go just a smidge higher. How does that feel, Caroline?
Better.
Better? And the kids automatically intuitively will know what feels good and what doesn't feel good. So that feels about the right height. What we're looking for is that elbow position plus a little bit that supports. If it's just a little bit too low, go down a little bit, Georgia. If it's just a little bit too low, the child will feel like the shoulders are down. Does that feel different, Caroline? In what way?
I don't really know.
Does it feel as good? Better, same, or worse?
Better, same, or worse. Worse.
Worse. There we go. So we go up again, our basic template of just trying to make sure that once you start to see the shoulder elevate a little bit, then you're in the clear. So hands by the side. As soon as the shoulder starts to elevate, you're good. And then Georgia's blocking that position. I'm just going to come around. Now here's the key. I don't have to make a death-tight screw here. We have 4 corners on this thing, and all I'm doing is just hand tightening them. So don't be too zealous. Georgia, you want to try it? Don't be overzealous on trying to tighten that up. And Georgia just hand tightens it. Perfect. Gee, that's it. Not too crazy. Other way up. Perfect. That's it. That's all it takes. Then, as we walk around and continue to adjust desks, oftentimes we'll see that a student will say, hey, you know what? I'd like it a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Our typical error is towards a little bit slightly higher side than slightly lower side. But in this position, Caroline is in a good braced shape, her elbows are supported, and she will know what feels intuitively good or bad. And what we typically see is that after about a week of use, sometimes students need to come back in and we just do a little fine tune. And sometimes students will say, hey, you know, I started that as a good height, but I like a little bit higher, a little bit lower. So very easy, 4 simple screws, 2 volunteers per. Again, the keys, touching the desk with your body, elbows at 90 degrees. When you start to see the elbows drift up and the shoulders start to drift, you know you're at the right height. Thanks again for your help. Have a great school year.